Good morning, all. This is Jack from Charts and Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 7th of July. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at Charts and Markets or substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Let's have a look at ES, which had a decent day up yesterday, but didn't come close to a test of the all-time high. Now, what's really holding the market back here is the fact that tech is weak. We're seeing tech is the weakest by far. Didn't even have a particularly nice day yesterday, and is still remaining weak. We need tech to step up if SPX is going to retest the high, and ES, of course. RTY is sticking close to the highs. Nice looking double top setup here. YM is chugging on higher. This has been the strongest of the indices in recent weeks. DAX and STX, I was a bit concerned about the sell signals which had fixed here yesterday, but these have now reached the possible near miss target, so we're clear there on a signal basis. And Nikkei is still forming a very nice looking bull flag, so really we're just waiting for tech. We will see how that goes. Let's have a look at see how that looked on the daily charts and RTH charts and ES. Hang on. Right, ES, we've still got obviously an RSI 14 sell signal fixed on the daily chart as we have across the board, but we're starting to break up from the triangle here, and that should result in a retest of the high here at 76.93.75. Looking at the daily chart on SPX, we are looking at getting pretty close to the daily upper band, but we're still very much in range to see the retest of the high here at 76.20.90, and that looks like the obvious next move. Looking at the hourly chart, not a great deal happening, but we've broken up from the flag here, and the target is a retest of the all-time high. 15-minute chart, we've got a little 15-minute RSI 14 sell signal, which fixed at the close yesterday. All right, looking at the Qs, we're still fighting around the daily middle band, but we did see a day trading basically above the daily middle band yesterday, and certainly with a close above it. Hopefully, it can build on that and give us our high retest, which is unfinished business above. Haven't broken over the triangle resistance there. We don't have anything like a nice triangle here, although it looks a bit better if I look at it on the 15-minute chart where I've drawn it slightly differently. But nonetheless, we need to get back to that trendline resistance and break up from it. But of course, this trendline resistance is so shallow that when we break up from it, we'll be very, very close to the all-time high anyway. Looking at Dia, Dia is just continuing higher, and we've hit the possible trendline resistance that I've been watching on the daily chart, and the RSI 14 sell signal that's fixed on the daily chart is pretty close to failing. Another day's upside, and we may well lose that. On the 5th hourly chart, no current divergence, and you can see us hitting the trendline resistance there. That is possible resistance, of course. We're looking at a different wedge here on the 15-minute chart, and we're pretty close to that too. So going to be watching all of those with interest, but I wouldn't be astonished to see that daily sell signal fail on Dia and to continue higher. This has very much been the strongest. All right, let's have a look at IWM. And on IWM, we are obviously stronger than SPX and the keys. We're still hanging around near the highs, but we're not actually moving much at the moment. Hourly chart, nothing to see. 15-minute chart, nothing to see. We reached the possible near miss target on the RSI 14 buy signal I was looking at yesterday. Looking at DAX, we are at new all-time highs, so we finished off the unfinished business there at a retest of this high here at 25.5k, and obviously that's done and dusted. No current negative divergence. Nikkei is holding above the daily middle band, and the next obvious target would be a retest of the all-time high at 72.8k. Okay, let's have a look at DX. DX, we've got 60-minute buy signal has reached the possible near miss target, and I am wondering about a bit more weakness here. There's some indication of that on the other currencies. USD hasn't broken down from the flag yet. GBP USD is getting pretty close to the IHS double bottom target in the 1.3415 area. Next obvious target on USD JPY would be a retest of the high, but if we're forming an ABC flag, we could see a lower low on the way. USD CAD, essentially the same. USD Australian dollar, wondering about a bear flag here. NZUSD, wondering about a bear flag here. All right, looking at ZB. ZB, nice looking double bottom setup here, but it was nicer before we went a little further down here. We still have a 60-minute buy signal fixed. We've still got a 60-minute buy signal fixed on ZN. So I'm thinking we see a bit more upside at least to play those out. But these are really looking like bear flags for me. All right, looking at oil, which is looking very interesting this morning, and I'll spend a bit more time on. Oil, obviously, we've made the 60-minute buy signal on Brent, and on CL, we've now made the possible near miss target as well. But it gets a lot more interesting than this, and I'll get to that on the RTH charts. In terms of HO, we've got an IHS which is broken up with a target in the 3.47 area. We're rejecting a bit from the monthly pivot here, and obviously that is at major resistance level. RBOB, we are testing the monthly pivot as well and trying to break up from what could be a double bottom here, but equally we could about to form a right shoulder. So we shall see. NG broke back above the monthly pivot and has now broken back below it. Obviously, this is an indecision trading in a range period, and we're waiting to see which way it's going to break out. All right, let's have a look at oil, which is looking pretty interesting this morning. So, right, straight for moves, traffic returning to normal. Obviously, this is below the MOU, and we got down to 26%, and we got up to 63% where the MOU was signed, and we're now down to 7%. That is a big decline. Now, obviously, we are getting closer to July the 31st, and that's got an impact here because there's a time element to this, but things aren't really getting back to normal. So in terms of looking here, and I'm going to be doing a post on this, I'll have this out within an hour or so. But we've got, this is the traffic through the Strait of Hormuz according to IMF. And we've obviously got an increase since the MOU, but it's not really getting back to normal, and it doesn't really seem to be improving a great deal. We will see how that goes, but I'm skeptical. And in terms of the stocks worldwide, those are still being drawn down. There's a big drawdown in the US into the July the 3rd, and really we're getting pretty close to saying bottom. So I am wondering about a rally here, and I've been wondering about a rally here partially because after a big move down like this, you find a low, you retrace at minimum a lot of it. Where would a 50% retracement here be? Well, I think really it depends whether you take it from here from 98 or whether you take it from 115. But I think you're still looking at a sizable rally here, and the obvious target initially would be the 200 DMA range. 200 DMA is at 78.57. We've got the daily middle band now at 79.46. It's pretty obvious where if we were to see a modest rally, where that would likely be headed. In terms of that's on the Brent chart. Looking at the WTIC chart, looking at something fairly similar. Here we've got daily middle band at just over 76. We've got the 200 DMA at 74, and we've got a little set up to go higher. We've also got positive divergence. If we actually closed at the current level at the end of today, the RSI 5 buy signal would fix. The RSI 14 one wouldn't fix, but a bit higher, and that would fix too. Looking at Brent, we would actually get both the RSI 14 buy signal fixed and the RSI 5 buy signal fixed. Is there a chance that we do go higher? Well, as it happens, there is. Let's have a look at the 5-minute charts. And here I was drawing on during the day yesterday the possible IHS patterns here, which aren't bad at all on Brent and WTIC. Now we've got here, and this had already broken up yesterday. This already broke up yesterday. We've got an IHS which is broken up with a target in the 74.90 area, and and we saw a slight break above. We saw a pullback, and overnight we went up and did this. This has a chance of making target, and if it does, and it does that today, those daily buy signals will probably fix, and this will take us up to the possible IHS necklines. We've got one here in the 74.8435 area and one here in the 75.803 area. Looking at WTIC, we got the same picture, except, I mean, very slightly different, but I mean, we've got the IHS actually broke up last night in this instance. It's got a target in the 71.35 area, and we've got possible IHS necklines in the 71.56 and 72.527 areas. This is looking pretty nice. And if we see these play out, we'll probably see the daily buy signals fix. And that doesn't mean we can't come back, retest the lows, but we are setting up for, we may well be setting up, and I think probably would be setting up for that big rally that I'm talking about. And I'm liking the setup here. So we will see how those play out today. I'm going to be doing a post about that. But really, we're owed a large rally here at the absolute minimum. And honestly, if we are going to see an oil crisis, well, we may well still be going to see it in the future. In the next few months, we have much to see in terms of what happens when stocks run down beyond a safe level and we start getting down in tank bottoms and we start seeing actual shortages. I don't think the oil prices have made much sense over the last few weeks. So I think we might be about to see a large correction upwards, and we've got some indications that we might be seeing that. All right, GC. GC. This looks like a little ball flags. We've got a double bottom where the target has broken up with a target in the 42.35 area to 42.50 range, and I'm not seeing any particular reason to think that's not going to make target. Looking at SI, nice bull flag set up here. Likely to go a bit higher. Could be an IHS forming, although not a great quality one. On Palladium, very nice looking potential level bottom here, and we're getting back over the monthly pivot. On Platinum, very nice looking double bottom here too, and that's pretty close to breaking up. HG, we are still kicking around after breaking down from the first double top. We will see how that goes. Looking at the other commodities, KC. KC made this target and some with a large spike up yesterday, which killed the sell signal, which had fixed and reconfirmed. This is strong action. And really quite impressive, and we may well be seeing more of this going up. Short term though, we're seeing a bit of a retracement, and we may well see more of that. SB, I was talking about a retest of this high here. We haven't quite made it yet, but I think we're likely going to see that next. CC, nice up move here. This bull flag has basically made target and a retest of the high, and it's gone higher. No current negative divergence, may go higher, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of retracement here. Lumber still likely forming a bear flag. CT is pretty close to the IHS target in the 79.72 area. So we will see how that goes. ZW, very nice looking level bottom here. We'll see. Looking at the corn chart, we have a possible double bottom, although it's kind of an ugly one, which is broken up. If so, I'd be using this little double bottom there, and it already would have made target. We've got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing here, and that may be fixing at the moment. On soy, wondering about a little retest here, possible little level top, possible 60-minute sell signal brewing here as well. ZL, weak 60-minute buy signal fixed, hasn't made target yet. Nice looking little double bottom, which is getting close to breaking up. Live cattle, keeping an open mind on what this is, no current positive divergence, and lean hogs, this looks like a bear flag setting up a retest of this low. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care. There are no questions, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, cheers. Bye.